Good evening, and welcome to the New York Continental Societies Incorporated 21st Annual Woman of Distinction Virtual Awards Program. My name is Michelle Harris, the New York Continental Societies Incorporated Chapter President. For those who are new supporters, Continental Societies is an international public service organization founded as a national organization in 1956 by a group of energetic and dedicated service-oriented women. These women structured an organization to foster, promote, and develop the welfare of underserved children and youth. And you know that our children are in need of services, and we are here to serve. 4 groups form the nucleus of the Continental Societies when women from Baltimore, Maryland, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Newport News, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. met at Colton, Maryland in 1956. This gathering of members from the 4 chapters constituted the first official conclave of Continental Societies. It was during this first official conclave of the Continental Societies that Continental women gathered and pledged to continue to work for underprivileged and disadvantaged children and youth. The Continental Societies quickly became a visible and viable organization of concerned women. It was inevitable that in November 1972, in St. Paul, Minnesota, Continental Societies became nationally incorporated. Continental Societies embraces 49 chapters. Can you believe during the pandemic we were adding more chapters to our organization? It was just phenomenal. 49 chapters in 21 states in the continental USA, District of Columbia, and Bermuda. So that makes us international, and we are still growing. Through our 5-point programmatic thrust, and the 5 points are health, education, employment, recreation, plus arts and humanities, Continental women nationally and internationally, regionally and locally strive to adhere to the humanitarian precept of sharing with those in need. Continentals have created innovative activities while they volunteer their time and outreach to underserved children and youth. All programs and projects are financed by member donations, annual benefits, grants, and corporate donations. Continental Societies served, and this is all of our chapters of 49 chapters, 377,811 underserved children during 2019-2020. So since we can't meet in person, I am honored to be a part of the Continental Society's first annual virtual benefit. Although next year, I hope that we can be up and close. Now, at this point, I would like to introduce you to my phenomenal Continental sisters, the New York chapter who made this possible. New York chapter, Continental Women's Societies Incorporated. And all of you out here, all of my members out here, please give a shout out to our guests in the chat box. And I want to personally thank them for their time, their unwavering support for our children, and making this event a phenomenal success. And thank you all for coming. This year has been a challenge for all of us, and we just thank God that we are here, that we were able to see our way through. Continental societies, we had to be creative and innovative because remember, we couldn't do any in-person activities. Nonetheless, we pivoted and we served over 10,250 children during the pandemic. We donated $1,000 each to 6 food pantries in each of the 5 boroughs, right? Abyssinian Baptist Church, First Baptist Church in Queens, we in the Bronx, each of the 5 boroughs. We also donated tablets. You know that learning was such a challenge, and so we donated tablets for children in after-school programs. We sponsored teens going to the Seneca Falls virtual conference for the women's rights, the 19th Amendment, right? Women's rights to vote. We sponsored the virtual dental van, right? We had to make sure that our children still received their oral care. And so we sponsored virtual dental vans across the city. And by the way, on that note, I would like to thank, on behalf of the organization, Colgate for sponsoring, helping us to put this event together and sponsoring this event. All right, truly amazing. We had writing clubs for our students where we had tutors assist them. We had financial literacy workshops for parents, right? Because parents had challenges as well. We had career days. We had multiple hands-on projects and nurseries, etc. Imagine now doing an arts and crafts project and you could not go to the nursery, but we were able to send them the supplies they needed and guide them virtually to have successful arts and crafts projects. And we also had, happy hair. So that's something that, you know, we do have challenges with our hair. And so we want to make sure that our children are proud and that they are able to look at themselves and do things creatively around that theme. So this evening, I would like to thank our sisters. I thank you all for joining us for this special award ceremony to honor our honorees and for your continued support. And at this time, I would like to introduce our Mistress of Ceremonies, Miss Julia Price. Julia Price is one of our sisters who, like I said, the Continentals, we showed up and we showed out. So I'd like to tell you a few things about my sister, Julia, who is going to be your Mistress of Ceremonies today. Julia recently retired as Vice President for the Great American Insurance Company in the Ocean Marine Division. During her time at Travelers Insurance Company, she was distinguished among her coworkers and honored by her corporate leadership for recovering one of the highest losses experienced in the history of the company. And so, by the way, you know, we quickly put her on our audit committee because we want to make sure that everything is in order, and we thank her. Julia is a member of the NAACP. She is president of the Bronx Triangle Incorporated and a Diamond Life member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. She joined us, Continental Societies, as a member in 2017, and she is actively involved in several of our programs, and she has also served as our second vice president. Julia resides with her husband in the Bronx. They have 2 daughters and they have a granddaughter. And so without further ado, I'm going to turn you over. You will be in great hands to our Mistress of Ceremony, Miss Julia Price. Come on, Julia.
Thank you for that introduction, Michelle. I will serve as your Mistress of Ceremonies this evening. We're going to have a great time celebrating the New York chapter of the Continental Societies, Inc. Okay, let's get this show started. It is my pleasure to introduce the 14th National President, Robin T. Brower, Esquire, the helm of this amazing organization.
Greetings. On behalf of the National Board of Directors, I extend congratulations to the New York chapter of the Continental Societies Incorporated on the occasion of their Women of Distinction Awards program. I would like to extend special congratulations to tonight's honorees, Joy K. Jones and Rudine Lene. The New York chapter of the Continental Societies, Inc. has consistently impacted the lives of children in their local community. Children in your communities have benefited from the programs your chapter have implemented in the areas of health, education, employment, recreation, plus the arts and humanities. We salute you for your history of serving thousands of children and youth and your track record of awarding thousands of dollars in scholarships. It is clear that all of your contributions to the New York community have had a tremendous impact on your local community and have improved the lives of children so that they are positioned for success. Members of your chapter have been dedicated servants on the regional and national levels and have established a standard of leadership and program implementation for other chapters to follow. I commend you for your leadership in the community and your service to our beloved sisterhood. As you continue to provide services to your local community, I am confident that you will continue to impact the next generation of children and remain an example of leadership to others. Best wishes on your Women of Distinction Awards program and continued success.
Thank you, Robin. It is my honor to introduce Deborah Tucker, First Vice Eastern Region Director. Deborah is a member of the New York chapter and has served previously as the chapter's first vice president. Under her leadership, she worked efficiently with all 15 Eastern Region chapters' first vice presidents and continued to implement and oversee the HER plus arts and humanities programs, as well as national initiatives. Ms. Tucker has served in other leadership positions on the local, regional, and national levels. With her leadership qualities and commitment to the mission of the Continental Societies, Inc., she continues to help underserved children, their families, and communities. Please welcome Deborah Tucker.
Thank you, Continental Julia, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, my name is Deborah Tucker, First Vice Eastern Region Director. I bring you greetings, my New York Continental sisters, on behalf of our Eastern Regional Director, Christine Davenport, elected and appointed officers. Congratulations to our honorees, Joy K. Jones and Rudine Lene, on receiving the 21st Annual Women of Distinction Award. I know that we will have a marvelous time, and I'm looking forward to seeing and dancing with all of you at the after party with the legendary Chris Washington.
Thank you, Deborah. It is now that time that we've all been waiting for, the presentations of the awards. It is my distinct honor to introduce our first Woman of Distinction honoree, Joy K. Jones. Joy K. Jones was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. She received her bachelor's degree in education and social policy from Northwestern University and a master's degree from CUNY's Brooklyn College. Joy has been a faithful member of Ebenezer Missionary Chapter, Inc. for over 40 years. She enjoys encouraging young people to use their God-given talents to glorify the Lord in song, dance, and drama. Joy actively participates in her church's music ministry as a praise team member, pianist, and youth choir director. For 25 years, Joy has produced the school's annual Christmas pageant, and Gospel Fest concerts to continue showcasing her students' outstanding artistic abilities. For the past 25 years, Joy has worked at Ebenezer Preparatory School in Brooklyn, New York, that serves students from nursery to grade 8. Joy was appointed as principal of Ebenezer Prep, adding the roles of guidance counselor, event planner, and coordinator of testing and textbook. Joy has been married for 29 years and is the mother to 3 children. Please join me in congratulating Joy K. Jones.
Thank you so much, Julia. I really appreciate that. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out to support this wonderful occasion this evening. I'm so humbled and honored to be chosen as the Woman of Distinction, and I'm so thankful also to my dear colleague also, Ms. Rudine, who's also awarded this wonderful award. And I just have to say, thank God, I am just so humbled by the wonderful recognition. Those of you who know me, I am not one to give lots of speeches or to accept all the accolades and everything, but I do understand the importance of awarding someone for their hard work and the impact that they've made on the lives of youngsters. So I want to thank God, first of all. I want to thank God for my parents, Gerson and Joy Marshall, who have just instilled so much in me throughout my life, and for my siblings, for my husband, for my children, for my church family, for my school family, for my friends, my family, my loved ones. I just want to thank you all so much for this wonderful, wonderful honor. And I just wish the Continentals all the best in their future endeavors. And I just say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the evening. God bless everyone.
Congratulations, Joy. Now, I'd like to introduce you to our second Woman of Distinction honoree, Rudine Lanang. Rudine grew up in the Bronx, New York. She received a BA from Hunter College and a master's degree from New York University. She taught chemistry at Bronx Community College for 30 years, where she received the Distinguished Faculty Service Awards and spent her academic career encouraging students to pursue careers in science. In 1974, Rudine and her 2 sons moved to Tanzania, where she taught chemistry. She was an activist in the Women for Racial and Economic Equality and worked alongside her husband. Rudine is the author of Cold War and Love, a historical novel based on the lives of her grandmother and grandfather, a Harlem hellfighter in the Great War. She co-produced 12 Disciples of Nelson Mandela, an award-winning documentary which aired on the PBS documentary series POV and continues to be broadcast nationally and internationally. Please congratulate Rudine Lanang.
I wish to thank the New York chapter of the Continental Societies for this Woman of Distinction Award. It's truly an honor to be considered a woman of distinction by these dedicated and remarkable women who serve the children and youth of our community. In accepting this award, I wish to thank God for a blessed, long, and fruitful life. I thank and acknowledge my mother, Joella Johnson, who taught me the meaning of love in action and faithful service. My sisters, Mary Evelyn and Laura, who encouraged me, and my children, Thomas and Lyle, who cheered me on in all my endeavors. I wish to thank my pastor, Reverend Henry Beelan III, who continues to teach me what it means to have a compassionate and loving heart. And also the women of Bethel AME Church, who have faithfully served and supported our church family and the community at whole, and have created opportunities for me to also serve. I wish to acknowledge my historic mentors, women like Fannie Lou Hamer, who, even though she was sick and tired of being sick and tired and was maltreated, harassed, and denied her rights, she pressed on, continuing to speak out against oppression. She was a shining example for women everywhere. And I applaud the courageous young women of today, women in Black Lives Matter and other groups who speak truth to power. I would be amiss if I didn't thank my father, Albert Johnson, who kept the sacred memories of family alive and shared them with his children, and who delighted in telling stories of struggle, endurance, courage, leadership, love, sacrifice, and laughter. Without his amazing stories, I would not have been inspired to write Cold War and Love, my historic novel based on the lives of my grandparents. Without his love for Africa, I may never have ventured forth with my two sons to live and teach science to girls in Tanzania. Thanks also to Grace Edwards, the acclaimed author of Harlem mystery novels, who was my writing teacher. I never dreamed I could write a book, not to mention publish one, until Grace Edwards assured me that I could. Finally, I wish to thank all of you who joined us here today.
Congratulations, Rudine. I hope you enjoy this inspiring awards program. I would like to thank each and everyone for watching. Last but not least, it is my honor to introduce the first Vice President of the New York chapter of Continental Societies, Inc., Teresa Stallings.
Good evening. What an amazing night. Thank you for joining us tonight for the New York chapter of the Continental Societies Incorporated's 21st Annual Women of Distinction Awards program. If you have the means, please consider donating to help us continue our efforts in promoting and developing the welfare of underserved children and youth. We thank you in advance for your contributions. Check the chat for our donation link. You have no idea how much it means to have your support. Thank you for watching and stay safe. Please, let's welcome the legendary Chris Washington. Now, let's get up and dance.